everybody.
And welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony. And today, we aren't listening to each other's dreams. We've had enough of splishing and splashing around in each other's brains. We're jumping into someone else's dream pool today.
Oh.
From the creation of CarbonBoy, it's the mind that brought you such other things, such as, what setting should this game be on?
Yeah.
It is our very own Rythian. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Rythian.
You have done so much dream homework.
I did.
You've put us to shame.
And I'm going to put you on blast now so that people can hear. Because I was originally told back in November, and this is being recorded mid-February. And I was told, like, yeah, we could do another episode. Start recording some dreams. And I'm like, okay, well, I better get into reading and recording. So I recorded 9 dreams in November.
Rythian is the most keen person we've ever had on this podcast. Like, usually we're like, do you want to be in an episode? Sure. And so have you had a dream yet? Oh, no, I don't have that many dreams. Oh, and then Rythian is like, sure, I've done 9 dreams in the last 2 days and I'm ready. I'm ready to be on the episode. When I'm going to
go to sleep right now.
It's a lot of dreams. I can go to sleep now. It's fine, yeah.
Some people say they want to come on and then just don't have a dream.
Do.
Like, Silas. Sorry.
Yeah. He keeps saying, why I've never been on, and then you guys say, you've been invited, just bring a dream. Nah. Well then, I mean... Anyway, so after I had 9 dreams recorded, I was like, all right, that's enough. I'm saving these for now. And at some point, maybe they'll ask me on. And then finally they did.
Aww.
Well, we thought, as this is meant to be like season 2 of the Comfort Zone, because we had 2 weeks off for Christmas, so now we're like, it's a whole new thing. It's refreshed.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're
Have
our
you marked
first guest
season 2 as one specific episode, being like, okay, this is start of season 2? Or is it a little bit more fuzzy? It's a bit fuzzy.
It's fuzzy. It's just in our brain. We decided it's season 2.
Okay.
Surprise everyone.
New character arcs.
This is season 2.
But as you were our first ever guest.
Yeah, I was.
Makes sense that you're the season 2 first guest.
We're going to have to just make it a tradition.
If at any point I'm going to guest again, you're going to have to say that it's season 3 at that point. So you can keep it like that. Yeah.
That's how you know it's a new season, everyone. When Rythian turns up.
Yeah.
It's season time.
Yeah.
Like when you start seeing daffodils and you know spring is beginning, it's like,
yeah, you see little Rythians sprouting from the grass.
That means it's new season of Comfort Zone.
Must be the first one of the season.
New season.
I just figure it's good for branding to rename it. Just Comfort Zone subtitle.
Now even more comfortable.
Yeah.
Comfort Zone.
But then
2
again,
electric
some
boogaloo.
podcasts have just loads of episodes, like several hundred, and a lot of people find that really comforting because they because then there's the idea of like you can go forever listening to this one podcast, and there's just lots of content. So if anyone wants to listen to dreams, they know Comfort Zone. Bam.
There we go. Thank
There's
you.
like 40 episodes
now featured
by now.
in Plate Up.
Yes.
True. I just saw that.
Official.
Very nice.
We are in Plate Up.
We're official.
Nice
we now
poster,
exist.
Alistair.
We are now a real podcast because we're in a video game.
Referential.
I've never had an Easter egg in a video game before, so I'm excited.
It's pretty cool.
It's very cool. I just like imagining all the people who don't know who we are playing the game thinking, what the hell is that?
Well, the way they'll probably go, like a comfy song. I guess there are 2 friends on a poster. Oh, well, that's probably what they think.
Maybe they'll look it up and then we'll get new friends.
Well, how will they look it up?
I don't know.
What is this poster of Play?
They'll tweet Alistair and be like, excuse me, game developer, who are these people?
Who are these posters?
Oh my gosh, we should go to the Plate Up subreddit and be like, does anyone know who this is in this poster? And then you can reply being like, oh, I have a feeling it's these guys. Perfect.
Just
no one will suspect.
Still under your current Reddit names, like no hiding anything, just pretending.
No one will ever know.
Where can I see more of these faces?
For those of us listening who don't know, their Reddit names are Kirsty of the Comfort Zone and Bryony of the Comfort Zone. So it's pretty obvious.
I dread to think what Kirsty's Reddit name is. Is it going to be Kirsty Kirsty, Krusty.
It's Krusty Doggo.
You never know it, Kirsty. Some sort of variation of the letters C, R, and T or K.
I'm a man of many names.
Speaking of many names, I've noticed that Rythian's dreams have their own little titles. Are these ones you've given them, or is this something your phone does?
No, well, when I use just like the recorder program on my phone. So as soon as I wake up from a dream, I just reach over and click, right? And then when it's done, normally it just has a date, but I feel like I have to mark it down so that I know which dream it was, so that when I listen back to them, I'm just not clicking random dates and saying like, I wonder which one this was. So I give them a very basic title. Some of them don't say a lot. Like one of these is called Crossover Dream. I don't know, that makes a ton of sense, but the others make some sense, or at least from my brain. So
see, I was wondering, because Kirsty's phone, she got a new phone and now it does this thing where it will name the file for her. So she had a dream that was just called Nausea.
Oh.
Yeah. But I was actually talking about Nilesea.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
It's called Nausea a bunch of names, actually. There are more that I can't
mention.
Haven't we all?
So it just names it based on what it thinks you were mentioning the most or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have dreams like called Auntie and Gate and Dream.
A dream. That one's not so super helpful.
No, not great.
No.
But yours are very, very organized.
Yeah, well, I named them myself, so.
We've got Vampire Rain Dream is the first one. Did you want to count us in for that one?
Sure, why not? Let's listen. So as always, these are recorded as soon as I wake up. So half of the first 10 seconds is like giving my mouth of moisture so that I can speak, and then it's just a lot of rambling. So this one is how long is it? It's like 5.5 minutes. So it's one of my shorter ones, honestly. But yeah, I'm ready. So if you guys are ready, I'll count us in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Hello, this is one of my my story adventure dreams, where I'm some sort of adventurer in training, or maybe just an adventurer that lives somewhere in this sort of fantasy world, where I was like apprenticed under Gandalf, and I had like a vampire friend. And there was another vampire society called Stroganite and stuff, and there were other people in the society that wanted to get the power of rain on their side. And there used to be that vampires had a type of rain that they had that worked for them, because I don't know if they were weak to water or something, which seems not good if you're a vampire. It might have been some sort of special thing. And they had then met up with the wizard to try to get to change another rain into another rain. I don't know. It was some sort of weird discussion with Gandalf. I'm pretty sure it was just Gandalf, like Ian McKellen Gandalf, who was some sort of like trying to control and run this fantasy society, of which we were a part of. And then there was another faction of vampires that had left the group, and Gandalf was worried that there was going to be a battle between them or something. And then, while that was going on, me and this other vampire was trying to figure out this rain problem. And the vampires like, we're sick and tired of the humans taking everything. And it's like, well, I gotta try to fix this. I gotta try to make it. And I go in to meet with Gandalf to like talk about everything. And he was sitting in my like what looks like my grandmother's kitchen when I walk in, and he's really sad. And he's like, "Oh no, I've screwed everything up. Oh no, it's clear to me now that the prince, there was some vampire prince. I can't remember the name. We'll call him Prince Davokar. Prince Davokar's army is not a sizable army. They're not a rebel faction we need to worry about necessarily. But after what they have done and what we have done to them, it is clear now that they might legally recede from our nation. And if so, the people of Stroganite might join them. And that's not good. And then, like, I think something with the rain were like, you know, these like in a pen, like a pencil? No, not a pencil. Just like a pen where like a graphite pen. Those like shafts of graphite that you put inside like a pen to write. Like there was a bunch of those that we broke up into like first half and then half and then half again. And then I think they were turned into rain or something. And they were then falling, as rain is wont to do, from the sky. Maybe that was what we were doing with the rain. Because the vampires were really upset that the humans had taken this rain as well. Because the humans already had normal rain. But now they wanted extra rain. And there's something about jelly bean snakes. I don't know. It's fading away. Goddamn you, memory. I'm forgetting the details. But Gandalf was sad anyway, because he had screwed up. And me and this other vampire guy, we were like trying to sort of cheer him up and trying to help him fix the relationship between the humans and the vampires in this fantasy society and this rain problem. I sound like an absolute mad person. Anyway, bye-bye.
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 I want to hear about the jelly bean snake.
Me too.
There are very short mention there towards the end.
There were
just
also
briefly.
jelly bean snakes.
You can't just casually say, "Oh, then jelly bean
There were
snakes,"
jelly
but
bean
never
snakes,
mind
apparently.
those. Oh,
I can remember back to recording that and just getting just more and more frustrated at, like, number one, this made no sense from the very beginning. And number two, as I'm beginning to forget more and more as I'm talking, it's starting to make even less sense. So I'm just sitting there like desperately trying to grasp onto what it was, and just it won't make sense. And I just go just mad at it the entire time. Because they made no sense. Did you get what I meant about the pencils, or the pens rather?
No. Yeah, like mechanical pencil.
Yes, like a mechanical pencil have those like shafts of. I have one in front of me right now. Like
the very thin
of,
pieces of graphite that you. Yeah.
Apparently,
yes.
I have no idea why that meant anything with the rain, but like apparently that was a second rain or something. I don't know. Poor vampires. See, what I like there as well is that I keep like giving commentary to my own rain. Like, the rain, as it is wont to do, fell from the sky. Like things like that. Or like, the rain, which seems bad for vampires. Like I'm sort of like sassing my own story, you know? What the hell?
I've looked up, as you know, we have this very scientific dream book.
Very scientific dream book, yeah.
Somehow tell you that you had a dream about penises every time.
Yeah.
But I looked up vampires.
Okay.
And it says, when heavy demands are made on us which we do not feel capable of meeting, a vampire can appear in a dream. We are figuratively being sucked dry. The vampire or bloodsucker is such a fearful figure that it is accepted as an embodiment of evil.
Oh my God.
But they were like mostly friendly in the dream, though. I feel like I was helping the vampires. It's like even the quote-unquote evil vampires or whatever, they were more like they were different people who live elsewhere rather than a horror figure at this point.
Yeah.
So maybe not. This would have been mid-November-ish. So
yeah, when did you wrap up Strahd? It was before that, right?
Yeah, we finished Strahd around that point, which was... well, I don't know exactly the date, but it would have been around that point. And this was just before starting to properly plan and decide to go visit Bristol. So there might have been like a lot of stress and stuff on my mind, and it could have been at the end of my Curse of Strahd campaign. Maybe. I'm not sure. But it feels like the vampires weren't really like a horror or a danger or something to be afraid of. It was just like politics more than anything else. Like Gandalf was worried that they would legally recede from our nation, or you know. And I began by saying, this is one of my adventurer dreams. Like, apparently I have those a lot.
Just one of them.
Just one of. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I've looked up rain.
Okay.
And it says, in its simplest meaning, rain stands for tears and emotional release.
Oh,
Are you okay, Rythian? You feel like you're being sucked dry and you've got emotions raining from the sky.
I mean, maybe it does have something to do with finally finishing my 2+ year long, Dungeons and Dragons campaign, which was Curse of Strahd. So maybe there's something there, Obviously, the bad guy in that one is a big old vampire, so maybe there's some sort of emotion with that.
Yeah.
Rain in a woman's dream. Rain in a woman's dream can suggest the sexual act. So thank goodness it wasn't smutty rain because you're a man.
It sounds like it was painful rain. Can you imagine being rained on by a trillion tiny pieces of graphite? Yeah.
That sounds pretty bad. But apparently worse if you were a vampire. I didn't quite catch the plot details. I don't catch the plot details if they were supposed to replace the existing water rain, which was bad, with a new type of graphite rain. But then apparently the vampires was also mad that the humans were going to take this rain, take this rain as well.
Take the rain.
I don't know. There are a lot of questions about that.
It sounds like you've been doing a lot of vampire Gandalf politics in your
I guess, dreams. Yeah. Which there are worse things, I suppose. I guess Gandalf, as in McKellen, was like a trusted older mentor figure, I guess, someone to reach out to for advice, I guess.
Yeah.
I was thinking that dreaming about Gandalf seems very cozy. I think I've done it once, but it was baby Gandalf, and that wasn't very cozy. But I'd like to dream about it. Well, I think maybe he did. It was that dream I had that I had to navigate baby Gandalf through hell.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Remember that one? It was very strange.
It rings a bell.
It does say rain, by virtue of its heavenly origins, can symbolize divine blessing and revelation. So have you had any revelations?
Any divine revelations?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Work with us, Rythian.
I'm trying. I was trying
to... We have to
remember that at this point, Rythian was about to come and see us.
Yeah,
with that in mind, I looked up lead in brackets metal, such as you would find in a pencil.
Yeah.
And it says the conventional explanation of lead appearing in a dream is that we have a situation around us which is a burden to us.
No, come on now. I mean, to be fair, I think I mentioned this before, but like, I don't like traveling. Like, I don't really like air flights and so on, and I don't like the whole big shebang and hassle of,
and especially
like,
the last time you'd done it was
horrible. Yeah, it was not great. So that, like, knowing that Bristol visit was coming up, I might have that might have felt like a big burden to do. And I say this every time, like from the moment I decide to go to that I arrive there, it sucks. I hate so much of it. Once I'm there, it's amazing. I like meeting you guys and having a great time is lovely, and I love it. And then honestly, going home isn't really that bad either, because I'm heading homewards usually, so it feels less frustrating, even though it's still a hassle.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because the travel was upcoming and I knew I was gonna hate it, even though once I actually got there, it was gonna be great.
I reckon that's probably it. Like we were talking just before the podcast, like I have to go away this weekend, and like just the thought of having to go and travel and be sociable, it's just like, oh, it's going to be tiring.
Yeah.
But once you're doing it, it's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. I get that.
I read on a bit and it says lead, as in a lead of a pencil, has obvious connections with the life force and masculinity. Obviously.
Obviously.
Every time I see a pencil, I swoon. Obviously.
Yeah. Obviously.
I struggle to hold them in my dainty feminine hands because they're so masculine. Yeah. When are they going to release pencils for her?
Pencils for girls, yeah. Make them pink, make them small.
Nice, yeah, make them pink, dainty. Oh,
that's the only way girls can like something. If they are pink and small, non-violent, and
put some fluff on the end, make it scented with strawberries.
Glitter.
Yeah.
I don't know if did we get to the bottom of this?
I don't think we did. It sounds like you might have been stressing about traveling. I think that's
like a combination of things. Like if we want to pull together all these explanations from this factually perfect and unquestionable book, then The Rain was a sort of emotional release of a lot of things that are going on, which could be multiple things, but perhaps finishing my long Dungeons & Dragons campaign project. The vampire could be a reference to the villain, the vampire in the story, and the graphite could be the burden of upcoming travel.
I guess the vampire could also be, because travel is draining. So I guess maybe travel is a vampire that is draining you of your life force.
Could be.
Making you tired.
Yeah.
There is no section for Jelly Bean Snake.
Well, it seems like they were a minor part of the story anyway. So hopefully...
I don't know. They don't sound that minor to me. I think they would have been a very important contribution.
You think so? I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope they're a recurring character.
At the time, hopefully. Yeah.
Where do you remember where the jelly bean snakes fit in? Were they just the present?
No, no clue. Like even on listening back to it, it still took me by surprise. Like, wait, what? There was jelly bean snakes,
In a man's dream, a snake may appear if he has not understood the feminine or intuitive part of himself, or when he doubts his own masculinity.
Is that the jelly bean or Rythian?
Or the snake?
Or the snake? Or the vampire?
I don't know if Jelly Bean is in here. I would love if there was imagine if there's like a whole page for, you had a dream about jelly beans, did you?
Well, let me tell you.
How messed up you are.
They mean penis, probably.
Yeah. Well, there's an awful lot of masculinity and femininity already mentioned in the things we've talked about, so I wouldn't be surprised.
You need to just hold more pencils, reconnect with your masculinity.
That's probably it, yeah. Okay. I am now holding 3 pencils in one hand and 3 in the other.
Oh, wow, 3?
Oh, that's too much.
To be fair. And I'm too masculine.
Calm down, Rythian. I'm swooning. Jeez.
One of them is a Sharpie, and some of them are technically pens, not pencils, but,
Oh, my goodness.
It'll have to count.
We're going to have to censor this part. This is
I'm really sorry. I went overboard. I apologize.
Shall we hear, what is the name of the next one? Crossover Dream.
Crossover Dream. Yeah.
Crossover Dream.
Is this going to be the biggest crossover since I've forgotten what the meme is now.
Since End War or Infinity War or whatever. Yeah.
Since Jelly Beans and Snakes.
Jelly Beans and Snakes. So I don't actually know why I named this crossover dream. So I don't want to get your hopes up. I don't think it's like tons of guest stars necessarily. I think I know why I named it crossover dream, but I think crossover is the wrong word. Anyway, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
Hello. So I was dreaming that I was in a car driving home with my dad from somewhere. It was late at night, and I remember I was watching a YouTube video, like in the window of the car, like it was like reflecting onto the window of the car, and it was a video by Filmento, like a movie critic guy, who is criticizing movies and stuff. And for some reason, he had no voiceover in that video because he said he'd like ruined his throat or something. And it was a movie with Aaron Paul and the main guy from Breaking Bad. What's his name? Bryan Cranston. And also John Cena was in the movie, and they were like it was some sort of crossover between Breaking Bad and Peacemaker, and it was an alright movie and stuff. And then we were driving, and then like a little girl was like running across the road, and we hit the little girl like just like slightly like on the side, so she got like bumped. And we were like, oh my God, I think we hit that little girl. And I turned back, and like apparently we were going slow enough that I could still see it. And she just like started like crying or complaining a bit and running to her dad. So like apparently she was fine. And I was like, oh, that's so scary. Like something could have been really bad. And I looked over at my dad, and he was like really tired. And yeah, I'm really tired. And I turned my eyes forward of the road, and then I just saw a car coming right at us, and then bam, we slammed into that car, and nothing happened. So we just kept driving like into that car who was driving into us, like we were in some sort of super strong car. And I was like, okay, well, this is clearly a dream because we would have been dead now. I'm just gonna try to wake up. And I woke up, and immediately I woke up, and it was like, all right, time to record this for Bryony and Kirsty. So then I woke up, and I was like, all right, time to record. And then I was in this room where there were like so much recording equipment and loads of different electronics and the like, and TVs and monitors and like old school ones. I remember I wanted to record something, and I was reaching through, and I was starting to play things, and I couldn't get what was going on, and I was pressing buttons, and this little monitor of this big thing was moving in and forth. There was like, I don't know, it was like I was in some sort of huge room with at least 12 types of machines for observation and recording and everything. And at a certain point, whatever was playing was on the TV, and it was like an old school TV, and as in like one of those fat ones, not like an LCD ones. And I reached for the remote, and it was just like a really confusing remote. And I was trying to like shut it down because it was playing something. I can't remember if it was like music or just a sound or whatever. And I was trying to like shut down what was currently going on so that I think I could record the dream that I'd had. And I was pressing buttons, and then it started just, like, even though the TV was off, it was playing audio. So I was trying to figure out what is actually playing the audio here. And I tried to click away from it, and I went to a different channel. And the channel was like some some early morning religious music thing. So they were like singing these psalms and stuff and hymns. And I'm like, what is going on? I tried to shut off. And then I heard my mom singing from like the other room. She probably like knew the psalm or the hymn or whatever. And I'm trying to shut it off and it wouldn't work. And all of these machines was going... It was so frustrating. I was like walking around there naked because I had just come out of like bed or whatever and like trying to find the things I wanted to record, but nothing would shut off. And it was so frustrating. And the light was really bright. And I remember trying not to... I was like squinting my eyes because it was such bright light and I was trying to find everything and I was so annoyed. And then I woke up again and now I'm here recording. It's another one of those like double dreams. I still remember, it's been like 5 minutes since it happened, but just the immense frustration at technology. How dumb it was. I don't know, man. It happens again every time I remember, like, oh, I gotta record for Brian and Kirsty. Like, I start dreaming about recording for you two. So this, I blame you two on this. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh dear. That sounds like a stress dream.
Yeah, we're the cause of it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh, my favorite part was, and then I woke up and here I am.
Here I am recording for you. I hope you're happy.
Oh, man. I think I had one of these. You're welcome. I think I had one of these last time I was onto one of these like double dreams where like I wake up in the dream. Yeah. Because I trained when I'm in the mood of like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I remember to record my dream. I've trained the brain into like as soon as you're done, record quick, otherwise you're gonna forget. But then I immediately fall asleep and my brain thinks I'm gonna try to record. And then I guess for some reason I was very stressed and frustrated at something, which is why I then stumbled around this incredibly bright room with 12 plus massive, chunky, old recording equipment stations. There was like old tape players. There was these massive TVs, like old school CRT TVs, monitors of various kind. There were like gramophones, basically all kinds of old school technology you can imagine was in that room. And I was like,
you really had
and it was
recording
messy.
on the mind.
Yeah, I used very much so. It was like messy as well. So I had to like careful not to bump into things. And I was walking around like wearing nothing because I literally just got right out of bed trying to like find whatever was playing that annoying sound. I remember first it was some weird sound and then it became very loud religious singing, like God be gracious or whatever, like nonstop. And I was like, shut up, please. And it was so bright so I couldn't see properly because my eyes were like squinting because it was, it is when you go straight from a dark room to bam, immediately light.
Yeah.
And I was just walking around, couldn't hear because I was deafened by the religious screaming, singing, and just barely seeing anything, trying to shut off all the electronics going on so I could finally sit down and talk about, so I was in a car and we hit someone and it was fine, just for you two, basically.
Oh my God.
This is where I need your book to tell me what this means, because this was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, which part are you most... I mean, I want to look up...
To be fair,
naked. But
of course you
well,
would.
we've looked that up before for you, Brady.
Yeah, just every
Brainy's
dream.
naked all the time.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty common. Isn't that one of like the classic most common nightmares is like, oh no, I went to school naked.
But I never mind. Whenever I'm naked in a dream, I'm just
You're
like,
just always happy?
Here I am.
Brownie does not care.
I remember feeling because I think in my dream, it was like, I'm going to go up briefly to grab my recording equipment. Then I'm going to go back under the covers. So it doesn't matter that I'm naked or whatever. But the longer it took to shut down the cacophony and the lights and everything, the more annoyed I was that I wasn't wearing any clothes. I was just walking around there like stumbling on things. And in the bright light, it just felt wrong. So I don't think I was happy about being naked the further along it went, at least.
Oh, okay. I've looked up nude and it says...
This is the least important part of it, but sure, we can go ahead.
Well, it's interesting because it starts off with our buddy Freud.
Yes,
of course. But it says Freud assumed that dreaming of being nude was linked with sexuality. It is, however, more to do with self-image. We have a desire to be seen for what we are, to reveal our essential personality without having to create a facade. So I guess maybe it's more to do with the fact that your dream... I guess dreams are very personal, and maybe they do expose a real part of you. So,
I mean, that is. I am doing that right now. I guess
us.
I am exposing myself to the two. Wait, hold on a minute.
Hang on a minute.
I'm not sure I want to say that part that loud.
So thank you, Rythian.
You're very welcome.
Do you find talking about dreams particularly like stressful? Like, do you feel like...
Or is it just
maybe
talking to us?
Or just talking to us? Do you feel like they're maybe a bit too personal sometimes? Or do you think, maybe I shouldn't share this? Or...
There are some dreams I have which are too personal, which I don't share. You know. Okay, you're thinking of the... Yeah, never mind. That's interesting. There are dreams that... There's like multiple levels of dreams, right? There's dreams I have... Which, all right, that was a pretty funny and weird dream. I don't mind bringing that on the podcast. There's like another dream is like, it's a bit weird. Not sure if that means anything. Would bring that on the podcast if I have nothing else, but maybe I'll pick another one. There's, this dream stays off the podcast. Maybe I'll tell Kirsty and Bryony about it since they're all about dreams, like the one I told you about before the recording started. But that is not going on the podcast. And then there are the dreams which like, no one is hearing about this. This remains mine, private. No one is.
This stays in the mind castle.
Yes, under lock and key.
So it's less that you're worried about sharing your dreams and more that you're worried about having to remember to record them to tell us.
Well, I think I am very bad at remembering. I don't know how I feel like we've talked about this before, but like, for me, they disappear from my brain really quickly if I don't record.
Yeah.
Like,
same.
Almost instantly. Like there was one dream I had recently, which was really interesting. But because I didn't record it, it was gone in like 10 minutes, if even that. It was just gone. And I just, like right now, it's entirely gone. Like I remember after dreams, like, oh man, if I still recorded dreams, this would have been a great one. But then I didn't record and it gradually disappeared a little bit. And then I'm like, well, I still remember the basics. Now I don't. I don't even remember at all what it was about. It's all.
It's like I had a dream recently that, because I've never seen Game of Thrones, I don't really know the story. I know vague bits and bobs that people have tweeted, but I had a dream that I watched the entirety of Game of Thrones. So I basically just came up with a whole story arc and there were all these different characters. And I found it so funny that I woke up giggling because it was stuff like the main character was this like evil woman called Dolores Piglicker, and it went from there. And I just woke up like, I have to record this, and then I was just giggling too much, and then I just forgot it all, and I was like, where's it gone?
Yeah, it just disappears. So maybe like part of like these dreams, I don't feel stressed about, revealing or whatever. I feel like these are just kind of silly dreams. I can share with people who listen or whatever. It's not a huge deal, right? And like I said, there's some I don't share and some I keep super quiet. But so I don't think it's necessarily that causes the stress. It's more this of like,
I need to record it before I forget.
I need to record. Like I wanted to keep the dreams. My friends have asked for it, and I also want to keep it because it's fun. And I gotta get to record it, and then. Yeah. Something was stopping me from doing it.
Stuff keeps stopping you. Yeah, exactly. I have dreams like that all the time. Yeah. Like you need to do something, but something else is stopping you, like just constant obstacles in the way.
Yeah.
I have dreams like that as well. I don't know if you ever have these where they are so basic, but it's something like, oh, I know I got a message because I heard my phone ping. And then you dream that you're checking your phone. And then halfway through, like very realistically looking at your phone, you're like, wait, no, I'm still asleep. I need to wake up and check. And then I do it again. And I'm like, nope, still asleep.
Well, that happens sometimes with me. The moments I dream the most are when I have woken up and then I go back to sleep again. Because then I don't go into REM. So you get that little half state of consciousness where you're kind of just thinking, but it's also kind of turning into a dream. And in those moments, that easily happens. You get moments like, well, I was going to go up and like, oh, I'm meant to check this thing on the phone. And then in your dream, you do that. But then you wake up and, oh, no, I never actually did it. Oh, never mind. Yeah, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
I've looked up light, because you said about the blinding light.
It was really bright. It's like really like bright yellow light, you know, like a light bulb, but not like bright white, more like yellowish, sunlightish type thing.
Yeah.
And the room, I think the room must have had like a yellow wallpaper or something. I don't know, because it was really bright yellow.
It says, when light appears in dreams, we are usually in the process of trying to improve who we are. A very bright light often symbolizes the development of intuition or insight. So you've improved yourself for us. Thank you.
I guess. You're welcome.
You feel like we improve you?
I mean, I do. Like, I think I'm a better person for having known you two. So probably true.
Aww.
I'm going to look up yellow because we looked at the color section the other day.
Okay.
There isn't. Well, no, there is. It's just I can't do the alphabet. Yellow. This color is the closest, which is the closest to daylight, connected with the emotional self. The attributes are thinking, detachment, and judgment. So maybe it's that you were recording your dream and you were just thinking, I have to judge this dream and think about it. Maybe
it's going to be judged.
Maybe it's going to be judged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I was like, oh, you know, this driving dream or whatever is going to get judged, and so I'm thinking about the daylight because I'm going to go record it. I don't know. I guess that's the thing. There's a double dream, right? And the first dream was kind of random.
Oh yeah, we've completely brushed over the fact that you just hit a child with a car.
Yeah, we did.
I was watching YouTube video reflected in the screen of the car window rather than watching on the phone itself. And then we hit a young child, but again, like just bump. And she's like, oh man, that hurt. Wah! Rather than any sort of serious injury. And then we were like, oh, well, that was weird. Let's turn around and crash into another big car. At which point the brain goes, hold up a minute, this is clearly a dream. And then,
I need to record it.
And then the fake awakening becomes, Yeah.
That was a really interesting dream, though. There's so many layers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've said this before. I don't believe that every dream necessarily has a logical meaning you can figure out.
How dare you?
What would Freud say, honestly, if he heard me say it like this?
He'd say it's very sexy.
It's a very sexy dream.
Oh, that sounds very fancy or mother of you.
Yeah, probably. He probably would say that.
I think, and I know more than Freud.
Yes, true.
That you had a dream. In your dream, you were like, this is a dream. I need to record it. I better go record it. And then you were panicking because you couldn't find your recording equipment. Then there were lights. Then there was singing. Then there was noise. There was sensory overload. Blah, 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 blah. And then stress. All because you wanted to provide a dream for us.
Yeah.
That seems probably likely, yeah.
I don't know what the child would represent. Oh, wait. No. Is it us?
Oh, dear.
I crashed into the two of you. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. But if so, you were fine. If that helped. So
yay!
You didn't get hurt.
Hooray!
So.
Only emotional damage.
Only
Yay!
emotional damage, yeah. Could have been worse, apparently. I think if it had been lower, I don't know if I would have put it on the podcast. Like, if it was like a very violent dream, I don't think I would have wanted to talk about that, probably. I don't think I have a lot of violent dreams in general. Like, my dreams are usually like bizarre and weird, but it's rare that I have like, violent dreams or like truly horror like dreams. I don't really have nightmares often. I had one disturbing and unnerving dream like a few months ago, maybe, but that's about it. I think I don't really suffer from dreams like that.
Yeah, I really have like nightmares or unpleasant dreams. They're usually just very weird.
Yeah.
So very, very similar to yours, actually. They're just weird adventures with random characters and random things happening. And I'm like, what's going on? I have no idea.
I will have dreams where I get really frustrated because I can't be as violent as I want to be.
Oh, God.
I'll be like, someone will have annoyed me, or like they've broken into the house and I'm trying to stop them. And I'm like, why are my punches not working? Why can't I like throttle them as much as I want to? And I'm really like, Mother, I crave violence, and I just can't do it. What does that mean? Am I okay?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Are you tired of being nice?
Maybe you're tired of being nice. Yeah. Maybe you're like, I'm always supposed to be the cutesy bunny lady, but I really want to just punch someone. Maybe that's why. Yeah.
I agree.
I think it's usually if something is touching me whilst I'm asleep, like my duvet is tickling my ear or something, and it's that sort of like, is that sort of angy when you, you wake up grumpy.
Because I was thinking like just overwhelming like sound and light stopping me from reaching my phone. I was like, maybe my alarm was going off, and that was but it wasn't. That wasn't the case. But I think like that would have made sense if that was the case. Like there was something annoying.
Daylight coming into your bedroom.
Oh, I have like these. I have these like dark curtains. So nothing coming curtains. In. It's like super dark. So, yeah. So I could find very little explanation for what it was, which is why I brought it to the experts. And well, we've reached some sort of conclusion, I guess.
The answer is stress.
Yeah, probably.
Because of us.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Do you want to listen to what sounds like a very epic dream called Savior of Rap?
Yes. So this one is the longest, and this one is also the most stuff happens, if I remember correctly.
Oh, action-packed.
Yeah. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, if you're ready, then we'll go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Hello. So this is the story of how I saved rap music. So I didn't find out this until later in the dream, but I was Enigma from Dota 2, and we were in this building where we needed like 2 boats, small toy boats, to like activate a program or machine or something that like could turn off all rap music or turn on all rap music so that it was able to be played. And then there was this faction of like Rick and Morty bird people who wanted to turn it off. And I think like my 2 friends was Dave Chappelle and Charlie Murphy, I think, from the Dave Chappelle show. And we were like traveling in this tower and trying to like get back the boats. And at some point on, one of the birds came to like infiltrate and steal one of the boats. I think at some point one of my friends literally was just Rick from Rick and Morty, and he was undercover. Like the bird person was like literally undercover and showed up, and he was carrying like wacky old school stuff, and like it was very blatantly like undercover and like a spy, and he was like, hello, I am a normal person, and I have it was like I was watching a comedy movie and everyone just played along. I look how strange things I'm carrying. He had some sort of bowl with him that he held out to prove that he wasn't a bird person. So I don't have many weird things. I am quirky, and I'm so I don't need any weird boats. And he was like asking if they had any boats, which they had hidden like behind the pillows they were leaning on in some sort of elevator, a large elevator, like the type of like huge Space Needle elevators or something. I don't know. Eventually he grabbed those boats. So then we had to go down and get the boats again. And so there was we went down to like the reception area, where then one of the people who were not bird persons anymore, there was some woman who had like a little token that could be like exchanged to get one of the boats, and so we had to like convince her to like, or like trick her to like drop. Like we were like under the desk and like trick her to like drop the token, and then like reach out the hand and grab the token from underneath the desk, like the little gap between the desk and the thing, to grab it and move on. And I also just quickly realized that before this, it was a huge thing with me in my old house I used to live in, and meeting an old friend of mine, and I haven't dreamed about or thought about in ages, to set up like a computer in my mom and dad's like old bedroom, and walking into a room where there was like old, like an old, really old like CRT TV and an old CRT monitor, and gathering up, like it's like we were trying to put together all the ingredients. So there was like a small little scavenger, and this is like an entirely separate dream that somehow got I don't think it's connected at all, but I just remembered it all of a sudden while I was talking about it. Yeah, and we basically put the computer together ultimately. But back to the Enigma rap music dream, because that's the exciting one. Anyway, so we got all the boats together, and then we needed to like travel up the Space Needle or tower or whatever in the elevator, and that's when it became like all of an action movie. And there was like multiple floors, and the elevator would like stop, and at some point we had started like climbing on the wall to get around there, and I couldn't hover like Enigma could do, but I could sort of, I don't know, I could like hover a little bit maybe on the wall or something. So at some point, Charlie Murphy had like hopped off trying like on one of the other floors, because we couldn't get to the very top floor, and he was climbing around when I was like stuck in the middle between two floors, and I had to do the same thing. And he was like, I'm going to try to get down to the bottom floor and make my way up from there by using the stairs. And I was like higher up, and then the door was locked and I couldn't get inside, and I was climbing, and the whole time I was climbing, I was like, I'm not a superhero. I'm not a superhero. I'm not a superhero. I don't know why I was saying that. I think I was maybe trying to convince myself that I couldn't fly, or to tell myself I couldn't fly. So I don't know. But we were carrying these things and we were going to take it to the top of the tower to save rap music. And since there still is rap music, I'm going to assume that we succeeded. So, you're welcome. Okay, anyway, goodbye.
Good job, Rythian.
Thank you.
The logic is sound.
For anyone out there who's currently enjoying rap music, you're welcome. I did what I could in my not a superhero Enigma can hover a little bit climbing adventure. Yeah. That one was the weirdest one. It went all over the place, like even more so than the others. Honestly, this one I hadn't listened back to since the first time I recorded, and some part of it seems weird to me now. For example, I had no idea who that old friend was in the dream I all of a sudden remembered in the middle of recording it. I don't remember who that was. But yeah, for some reason, Dave Chappelle and Charlie Murphy. I don't watch Dave Chappelle. Like back in the day, I think I watched that episode with Rick James, and I think I watched few small bits, but I'm not really a fan of his comedy even before he decided to get all controversial. Whatever. But for some reason, they were my partners in crime on this mission, or not crime, partners in heroism, really, because we were saving rap music.
Maybe they just really liked rap music. They were invested.
Yeah. I don't think they do, though, necessarily. I mean, I don't know. I don't know them, so maybe they do. I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe they do.
It's like one of those, overcoming adversity thing where you're like, we've got differences, but we'll work towards this common goal together.
Yeah. And then, I assume I must have been watching Rick and Morty. But the thing is, I don't think Rick and Morty was playing around that time. It's been off for quite a while, so I don't know. But for some reason, yeah, they were bird persons, all the enemies, all the people we were infiltrating. And I think I seemed to be very fascinated with the very bad disguise that one of them was putting on.
I love that.
I'm
definitely not undercover. By the way, where is your boat that I don't want to steal?
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like in my dream is like, this is so blatantly fake. It's like I'm in a comedy movie that everyone just accepts that this is what's happening. Because it was, I don't remember, but apparently my description of it was like, this is so obvious that absolutely everyone would see through it, but everyone's just rolling with it. So yeah, it was weird. But I do remember the sense of adventure.
Too. I love that.
Yeah, I do remember the sense of adventure of like very much like Mission Impossible music playing, like dun 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 dun, like climbing up the elevator shaft and like infiltrating and convincing this lady to drop her token and grabbing it before it hit the ground and that type of thing. And
yeah. That's so weird. Cool. I love that, like, you always turn up with a dream that could be made into like a movie poster.
A very weird really good movie poster, but yeah.
Had you been playing Hitman around this time?
No, I hadn't. So I only started doing that recently. So that would have been before that. Oh no, I don't know where all of this came from. This was basically around the same time. These were all recorded like basically mid-November. So that's roughly when you told me to start recording stuff. And yeah, this one I am having a much harder time trying to make any sort of connections. This to me just seemed like my brain decided we're gonna go on an adventure, and then we just did. Yeah,
it sounds like that to me.
Yeah, it just feels like
had
this
a bit
one
too
is
much cheese before bed.
This one just feels like a gift. Yeah. Just a gift.
What if something crazy happens? Okay. Yeah, that sort of thing.
We're just going to write you a story. Don't worry about it.
Or maybe it was a premonition. Maybe one day you'll be called upon to save rap music. And you will know exactly what to do in that scenario.
I know where to climb. Top of a very large tower.
And when it comes to it, you'll know that bird person is in disguise. You'll be able to call them out.
It's true.
I've seen this.
Wait a minute. I know.
Wait a second.
And I also know that I'm not a superhero. I'm not a superhero.
I thought you were going to say in that bit, I thought you were going to be like, I kept saying I'm not a superhero because I'm not a superhero.
I think, like I said, it was to convince myself, like, don't try, Rythian. Don't jump. You can't fly.
Don't be a hero.
Like yeah, exactly. That sort of thing. Because even though I apparently could hover a little bit, like Enigma from Dota 2, I couldn't fly. So therefore, I shouldn't take the risk. I don't know. There's another weird one, honestly.
Don't know where to even begin. Is there anything you'd like me to look up in the book, or are you happy with this just being?
Boats? Maybe toy boats or toys?
Oh.
Because that was ultimately the goal of the entire adventure, right? To find these toy boats. That was apparently the key.
Toy.
Key to saving rap.
When there are toys in a dream, we may be aware of children around us or of more of our childlike selves. Toys will highlight the creative side of ourselves and the more playful, innocent part.
Well,
it was definitely a creative dream.
Yeah, it's like a creative adventure dream. Like, yeah, I could maybe see that. It was just having stuff happen, really, as a story and adventure. Like feels like some sort of weird, bizarre fairy tale. You tell someone, this is the story of when Rythian saved rap music. He had to travel and go up a big tower. And there his two friends, Charlie and Dave, they stayed down on the floor. And then he had to climb. And I could see that, maybe. A bit weird, but yeah.
But I'll roll with it.
We'll roll with that. There's just so much. I do feel like your brain was just on one. Maybe you just felt particularly creative.
Yeah.
And
just decided to
just everything at once.
Go through a lot of
bird
things.
people, boats, rap music.
Rick and Morty, yeah. Like
Rick and Morty.
Climbing up a tower. The strongest visual memory I have of this dream is like hanging onto a wall, like no harnesses or whatever, and like climbing up this like elevator shaft, basically. That's the strongest memory I have of like sitting there and like thinking of how to get up to the top floor.
What's this?
I must have woken up before it actually ended, which is why I had to then make the conclusion, since there is still rap music, I must have succeeded. So I think so.
What are you going to say, Brady?
I was trying to think of the name. What is the name when you just like free climb a wall like that? I watched.
Free climbing?
Is it just free climbing?
Maybe. I watched a documentary and it was the name of the thing, and I forgot what the documentary was called. Yes.
Free solo. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
As in dreams, walls usually indicate the boundaries we have set ourselves. These may be created as defense mechanisms or support structures, and it is sometimes helpful to in the interpretation to decide whether the walls have been created in order to keep ourselves in or other people out.
Oh.
It sounds like it was there to keep you out.
Well, they were something I was trying to traverse. Like they were an obstacle for me, but also I needed the walls to be able to get to where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I guess. Because if there hadn't been walls, I wouldn't have been able to climb up them and get to where I needed to go. So
yeah.
True.
Good boundaries.
So maybe.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's good to have some boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the one who walked around naked.
Yeah, I wasn't naked in this dream. I was like a big galactic being. I don't know why I was Enigma, but I was. So basically,
it's cool
Starlight.
when you have dreams like that where you're like, you're doing all of the cool stuff you want to do. You know, you're like, I'm going to set out to save rap music. You're doing all this cool climbing. You know, you're like catching things before they hit the ground. You are the hero, and that's that's just cool. It's like your brain's giving you a little holiday from all these horrible, stressful dreams.
Yeah.
It certainly was a more exciting dream than the frustrating one of trying to find something to record, you know? This one is more like the vampire dream, I guess, because that even though not a ton happened in that one, it was still in an interesting world, right? But in this one, I was actually doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like dreams like these, I don't know, it's testament to how creative you are as a person, I think, as well. Like, dreams always throw random crap at you, but I don't know, you always have like a storyline and like names for everything in your dreams, and it's just very cool. It's like going into a little story every time you go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, it's for me, the difficulty is trying to find meaning to it, but yeah, like it went somewhere ultimately, I guess. So
yeah,
even if it was weird,
I liked it, and you saved trap music.
You did.
Success.
Very productive dream.
Yeah, honestly, not a lot of people can say they did that, so that's something to take away from it.
And you completed your mission and recorded the dream, so double success.
Immediately afterwards, bam, recorded it as well. Didn't get stopped by yellow light. All right, yeah. So to anyone who listened to these, sorry for how rambly they were. Hopefully we managed to get something from them.
You are a lot less rambly than I am, so I wouldn't worry.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed having Rythian back. I certainly did.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us again for Series 2.
First recurring guest star as well. I'm getting all of these honors.
You are.
The first guy who ever guessed, and the first guy who ever guested twice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good he guessed it twice.
Damn right. Thank you very much for having me on. It was fun to have a little bit of a chat. Try to make some sort of sense of the weirdness.
The lovely people listening find you?
Yeah, what's your address?
What's your address?
123 Sweden Road in Sweden. Online you can find me on twitch.tv/Rythian and youtube.com/Rythian. I think that still works. You might need to put an @ before the Rythian, but it used to be just /Rythian direct as well.
Or just Google Rythian.
Honestly, I'm
all over the place. Nerd with his same name on all the platforms. Like, what's that about?
Imagine that.
These two. Oh my god. I am also currently on Twitter, and I've been for a while. I am Rythian. That's where Rythian was taken.
Because he is Rythian.
But he's on Mastodon as Rythian.
I'm also on Mastodon at Rythian@mast.to. I don't think I've posted anything on Mastodon yet. But I want a Mastodon account there already, so that I'm there once people gradually start moving over there. You know?
So you have the name.
Yeah. I'm following a couple of people there already, but it's hard. Like, there's a lot of already inertia of everyone who's already on Twitter. But as it just gradually gets worse and worse and worse, it's good to have an alternative.
I'm just going to go and live in the woods instead.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Some people basically said, like, when Twitter goes down, I'm done. I'm not moving on to someone else. I'm going to stop social media. Like,
no one will steal your username in the woods.
That's true. You'll be yourself.
There can only be one bog witch.
It's true. Bryony the bog witch.
Well, we're going to have to fight it out, Bryony, because I want to be
We can start a coven.
Oh my god, we can live deliciously.
Welcome to the coven zone.
Yeah. Spin-off podcast coming.
Oh yeah.
That we don't record, we're just talking to a tree.
Stock, yeah. It would be too much social media to record.
You can be a guest. You can be our first guest.
I'd love to, yeah.
Yeah, you can be
Go visit the bog witches in the swamp. It's fine. They just want to record a podcast.
Well, thank you so much.
I
took Bryony's well that time.
Well, that's all we're going to have today.
Well. Slap of the knee. Well. Would you look at the time?
Would you look at the time? It's getting on a bit, isn't it? You know?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
We
Thanks
better end
so much,
the podcast.
Guys, this was great. It was fun.
Thank you, Rythian, and thank you, Bryony, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kirsty. And I look forward to Series 3, where we'll have Rythian back on again.
Hooray!
I'll be there. Don't worry.
What if we just get Rythian on every episode and then everyone could be a new series?
Wow.
Yes.
We have 18 seasons. How many episodes? 19. We had 2 in the first season and then new every time after.
And it's all just Rythian streams.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody.
Thank you, Kirsty. Thank you, Rythian. And until next time, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.